with a tutorial on a pose-to-pose bouncing ball. So a little bit different from Nick's tutorial, more closer to how we would animate in 3D. And where this comes from is Richard Williams's organised keyframing in his book, The Animated Survival Kit. He talks about organised keyframing, and we'll go over this in the lecture, but he starts off with his keys. You can see he's circled them. Keys, or your keyframes, are your storytelling poses. They're the drawings or the poses in 3D that really sell your animation. And we then move out onto extremes, which could be an extreme position away from this, or a contact position with the ground, which we could think of when the ball hits the ground. And then we've got breakdowns or passing positions. What are the drawings or poses in between these two? These are the breakdowns. And then everything else that goes in between these drawings are the in-betweens, and you can do them straight ahead or runs on different parts. And he's color-coded them as well, so we'll use this color coding in this exercise as well. So we've got black for keys and extremes, we've got red for breakdowns and passing positions, and blue for straight ahead runs on different parts. Okay, so if I go back to Adobe Animate, which we're working in, we're going to follow on from Nick's tutorial on the pendulum, which was excellent for timing and spacing. So if you remember that one there. And the way Nick got us to do this, he got us to think about our key drawings. So this is the beginning, and we have the end, which is actually the same drawing, but I suppose we went up to drawing 9, this keyframe here, and those two basically tell you the story of a pendulum. And the interesting thing that we did was we did this arc, we did the path of action, and we marked out where the positions of the center of the pendulum would be. So it starts off at 1, if we go back there, and the 9th drawing, the middle of the pendulum ball ended there. And if you look at the spacing, where the lines are, where we've marked on the arc of where this goes, they're not evenly spaced along this. We've got big gaps here because when the pendulum swings by, if you watch it again, it really hardly stays there at all, and it spends a lot of time up here and it spends a lot of time up here. So our drawings are close together, they're spaced close together there to give that illusion of slowing down, and the same there. And so any drawings that are spaced far apart move fast. So we're going to work with that principle again, and I'm going to introduce some timing and spacing charts into this as well. So let's go into my tutorial. So I've got this amazing path of action drawn there for you in this blue. So again, we've got this layout. We've got the ground. So what I'm going to do is lock the ground off there, so we can't mess with that. I can still draw on the layer on the layout drum, and I do want to do that because we're going to do something similar to what Nick did with the pendulum, as I say. So in traditional animation, normally you would label your drawings, and you'd label your keyframes. It's black, so it's a keyframe. So this is drawing 1, and the end one, I'll not number that one yet because I can guess that it goes to 60, but it's probably going to go to 40, I believe, or somewhere around here we'll go to 40. So this is where we start organising where our drawings are going to go. And if, like the pendulum, it takes 9 drawings to get here, let's work on that assumption. So I'm going to move my timeline along. As you can see, I've set out layers so we can see where, just if we're following Richard Williams' organised keyframing, we can follow this. And I've also given them the colours of the drawings. I'm going to insert a keyframe. So function, or if you're on a Mac, function F6, or F6 if you're on the PC. And I'm going to say this is drawing 9, and I'm going to underline it because it's a contact. It's an extreme. So on this one, with it being a contact, we've already done a little bit of squash and stretch, so I'm going to make sure that that's already there. So I've just moved the center pivot there when I've hit the Q button, the resize, the scale tool, transform tool, and I've tried to work out where the volume is, trying to keep it, you know, if I left it the same sort of height, that means it's grown in volume. But so if we've squashed it, it moves outwards. So now we've got this story of the ball squashing there. Okay, that's showing us what's happening here. So our 9th drawing is the contact. And I drew 9 there, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, we'll ignore that one for now. And if we're thinking about what Nick did before, let's go on this one here. Let's do a timing chart. So I'll go back and get my blue pen because I'm working on this bit here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. And this line is going to actually represent the numbers of the drawings. So this is drawing number 1, and this is going to be drawing number 9, which I'm going to underline because it's the contact. So it's going to represent the space from here to here. I think I need to copy that. Well, no, I don't need to copy that yet. And if we're thinking about this being this line, I'm going to work in thirds, so I'm going to sort of break this into thirds like this. So if this is the line, this is where the thirds are going to be. And because, remember when we said we're going to slow out of this, so it's going to get faster as it comes down, it's going to take its time up here. All of the ball will always take its time at the top of the arc as gravity starts pulling it down on the other side of the arc there. So I'm going to do it where the spacing is in thirds. So this drawing here, or if we look at where this would be in thirds on our drawing as well, would be something like this. That might be a little bit closer actually. Maybe about there and there. You know, you can just get it as accurate as you can. So does that look about right? So from there to there is 1/3, another third, and the third. If that makes sense. And I'm going to make sure that this drawing here is number 7. So we're going to be really close to number 1 there. And again, on this bit, I'm going to put that into thirds as well, just to keep the sort of a little bit of uniformity. And we're going to get close to there, and that's going to be drawing number 5. And within that, if you can imagine, this is the third closest to there, that's going to be drawing number 3. So we've got like a spacing of 2 drawings each, which gives us a little bit of leeway if we want to work on the in-betweens as well. So just to show you on that, so if this is drawing, actually I've done it the wrong way around there, haven't I? No, I haven't. So we want to break this one into thirds as well. If I can do that right, let's see. Does that look about? Oh yeah, I guess that I'm saying the third was there when I've done my little bit of measuring. So round about here is going to be drawing number 5, and in between that, if in the thirds between there, it's going to be 3, and so that's 1, position 1. So our centres are going to hit these, which matches our timing chart there. Okay, so have I done that on the right layer? Yes, I have. Okay, so for drawing number 7, which is a passing position between this this key here and draw number 9, that extreme. So if we find draw number 7, it tells you here, if you can't quite see where each one is, I'm going to insert a keyframe. So F6 to insert a keyframe there. And let's go back and borrow this one. Have I got it? Yeah. Copy it. Go back up to that. You don't have to do them on these layers. I'm just using this to show you. I'm going to paste it in there. For clarity, I'm going to hold it for two drones. So I'm going to insert a blank keyframe just there, so it doesn't go beyond the. I've just done it for one, but that's fine for now. So, but on this layer, the color is blue, so I'm going to change that. So it's kind of the same color as the background, so it's going to be quite hard. But the position is going to be up here. Let's turn on our onion skin and see what that's looking like. So yeah, we're starting to get somewhere with that. So I think I might move that one down a little bit, just to match up with the path of action. And next row we've got 5. So, and that is we're going to class that as an in-between. So we'll probably do the rest of these up here. So we'll hit F6 to do insert a keyframe there. Hopefully the last thing I pasted was the ball, so I'll do it again. No, it wasn't. So go back in there. Oh, it was actually. So I'll paste it in. I'm going to change the colour and I'll change it to the dark green on this one for all the in-betweens, and that's going to be placed about there. So it's closer to, with it being on thirds, it's closer to drone 1 than 7. I've actually done on position 5. I'm going to put the blank keyframe in there. What I'm actually going to do is control copy a blank one there, because it's just going to be easier with the key shortcuts, and control alt paste. I can move that one just so it lasts. So we're starting to get we're working on 2s. Let's move that one along, and that leaves drawing number 3 to put in another keyframe. So all I'm going to do there, I'm going to copy that. So Control Alt C to copy, position it, Control Alt V to paste. Gets a little bit messy. And this one, I need to move it so it's in position 3. It's got a nice overlap there. I'm just using my arrow keys to position that. So if we look at that, hopefully we've got a start of the bouncing ball, and the timing should be quite good. Obviously it's holding on to that frame where I didn't need it, where I've just put that to hide it. So hopefully that shows you how a timing chart works and how it relates to your spacing and the organised keyframing of Richard Williams. And I'll just keep the video playing and I'll just complete the rest of the exercise. I might put another timing chart in for there. So I'll keep the video recording. I might give a little bit of commentary here and there as well. So actually, because I've got some squash there on the contact, instead of holding it for 2 frames like I have everything else there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm actually gonna, I might I might move that here. So we get that squash, but I'm going to put a stretch on that contact first. So all I'll do for that is grab it, hit Q to transform it. I'm going to put it back in the center because I want to keep this proportion, the shape, but I'm just going to turn it around for now and get it to where I want it to be. Move it up. I'll put my onion skinning on. I think I'll bring the pivot there, twist it around a little bit so it's following the direction of this path of action. And so now when it contacts, hopefully we feel that squash. So I take that off and perhaps just bring this to here so we don't get that last frame. Yeah, so we can feel that squash. I might hold this for 3, but well, it's not really held because what I'll do there is I'm going to copy that frame again, paste it there, put in a blank keyframe beside it just to keep it all organized. And if I was to leave that there, we'd have a problem, because say if I just moved it so it was going to do that, we'd get a bit of a flicker. I don't know if it'll play back, if it'll show up like that, but it just so it seems to hold. So we want to have that to start to come off there so we don't get a flicker between stretch, squash, stretch, if that makes sense. And I'd perhaps even make it a little bit more coming back to its shape as well. With it being close to that, we might still get a flicker. Let's just turn the layout off as well. Oh, it's got a nice feel, I think. I'm not sure if we're feeling that first squash as it hits the ground. That's the first stretch. But we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so kind of want that to be, we want to, if we could put our layout back on, we want to do from this contact up to about the middle to be 7 drawings, I think. So let's see, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want our next storytelling passing position to be up here somewhere, and to take 7 drawings to get up there, because it's not as high as that. That's why we had 9 on that one, so we only need 7 on this one, I think. We'll find out when I do it. So I'm going to put that, hold that for 2 drawings, 2 exposures, 2 frames I should say. So put a blank keyframe in there. And in our, I wonder if I should move that one along a little bit. So we've got our timing chart for all of that bit there. That actually becomes the one. We'll leave that there because we've said it's drawing 9. This one is drawing number 18. So I'll put a keyframe in there, and we will rub this one out because that's not correct anymore. And as it's not a a keyframe or a contact, we'll just number it normally as 18. And we can do our next timing chart from, and we want it to actually be from 11 to 18, and that's 7 drawings there. And so if that's 18, well, I'll copy that onto there in a minute. Again, if we're doing thirds, actually it's slowing in into 18, so our third where we'll stop will be there, so that will be 16. Then we'll want, sorry, no, that won't be 16, will it? That'll be 13. And that will be 15. So that's going to be as we go up to there. Hope this is making sense for everyone. And I'll just delete that one there. Okay, so we've got our passing there. And sorry, our extreme there. So we want our passing to be, where did we say? We said 15. So on 15, let's insert a keyframe. And let's copy this because it's the same color and easy, and paste it in here. And because we're on thirds, I'm just going to eyeball it. So if that's about 1/3, about there maybe, that's drawn 15. So I'm going to insert a keyframe there, just to rub my number in now, because I've got all my numbering is all messed up now. That's drawing number 15. 18, that's correct. Let's put drawing number 13 there. I think I messed up my timing a little bit there. And then drawing 11 should be there. I kind of want to move that to 17. I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm going to commit. I'm going to move. I've got all my numbering wrong, but I'm going to move them. It's one along. So that to there, to this one. And I've put this one in the wrong place there, haven't I? That should go, oh, sorry, that should go there. And then we can insert a blank keyframe. So yeah, animation is confusing. There we go, back on track. So I'm copying this frame to get the green to go in here. And that's going to go, if that's the centre where the edge of the green is, if that's the, if we're seeing that's the centre and that's the centre, so it's got to be closer to this one. I'm taking a little bit of license with this one just so hopefully it's nice and smooth. Get another keyframe in, and let's move that one. There's an in between there, closer to that one. Put in a blank keyframe there. Okay, so hopefully you can see how this is shaping up a bit more. Oops, wrong thing. So getting a nice timing there. And we're just working out where things go in the scheme of other things. What I might do is add everything just procedurally, so I'm just going to rub this out for now just to work out my timings. I'll just put them on 2s and then I'll number them as I go by. And the key I'm using to move back and forth like this is the comma and full stop keys. They're universal to lots of animation programs and editing programs, so you might want to memorize that. So you've got to make sure you're selecting them though when you're doing this. I don't know why I did that. Must have had them both selected. So I'm just going to clear the keyframe there, there's no need for that. If I can choose the right one. It's really hard because I don't have a mouse. I'm working with a Wacom tablet here. Right, okay, so let me think where we'll go. I think it will take another 7 drawings to get down there. I'm holding that from there actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that one will be, if we draw on that one on here as well, that is frame 24. Is that what I want? No, I want it on, I think I want it on 25. So I might have gone a little bit wrong there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've gone on evens. Okay, we'll just commit to that then. So we're on frame 24. I've done that in the wrong place. And from there, so it's kind of similar. We're on drawing 18 there, and we're going to slow into 24, and that's going to be, no, slowing out, aren't we? So that's going to be 20, It's going to be 22, 20. And if I turn that off, hopefully you can see that now. Where that's going to slow out to this here. And this will have, sorry, the contact, actually it's going to go there, isn't it? The contact, I'm going to have it squash a little bit. So let's copy that key there, sorry, stretch a little bit and paste it there. Move it along. But it's too extreme a stretch to, if you compare it to that one, because that one's really coming down there. So we want to adjust this one a little bit. So I'll hit Q. I'm also going to adjust its sort of orientation of where it's coming down, so it's not as stretched as it's coming there, so it's also a little bit wider. That looks about right. So it's going to go from there to there. Perhaps we will get a little bit more tilt on it, just to show where it's coming from. And we'll do a similar thing with this one here. On the contact, we'll do a little bit of a squash. So I'm just copying that frame, pasting it there. But again, it's still a bit too extreme, I think. So let's bring it back up. So hopefully we'll still feel that. Just going to copy that blank keyframe, put it there. So turn the onion skin off. So hopefully we'll still get a little bit of a squash, but not as much as this one here. Let's just get a little idea how that's looking. So the timing's feeling quite nice, isn't it? We'll see what that spacing's like there. Got a little bit of movement on the layout for some reason. But okay, we'll live with it. So let's see, where are we next? So on here, we've said frame 22 is our third of a way along. So let's do that one, put that one in. Yeah, we'll copy that frame there and stick it at 22. We'll get the blank keyframe. Just keep it organized and not shown on every frame. And we need our onion skin back because we're eyeballing it, and we want that to sort of match this one. Well, sorry, to match this one here. So where I'm looking here, I'm looking at the height of this one and trying to match it up, and also the space between there and there, trying to eyeball. Hope that it's right. And it's in the right place, because we know that because it goes from, if I turn this up, we know it needs to be, oh, I think I need to copy that actually, just so I can see where I am. So I put it on each, it's probably going to move now, but just so I can see where everything is, yes, it moves. But drawing 22, see we're on 22, it says there, and it's closer to 18, which is that drawing there. So the next one, 20, needs to be in between there. And actually I'm not liking how this has got one extra thing in, so I think we're going to have to move that along so it's even, because you don't have an asymmetric amount of drawings, because the timing will go off, because it's kind of the same. Well, you can, but you know, let's, in this organized way, this more computer way, algorithmic way of working, let's aim to match what we've got there. So what I'm going to do then is move these two along so we can fit 2 more drawings in there. So our timing chart is now not correct, but let's not worry about it. Let's just be let's be a problem solver and fix it. I'm just copying some of the frames there. So this one, we want to move it so that it's kind of touching that one, isn't it? Yeah, I think that might be right. And then we want to do a similar drawing there. So actually I'm just going to paste it if I can. Nope, it didn't work. Copy, paste, and we want it to match this one here, so it's kind of just a little bit out there, and we'll move that along. So that's for 2, and as you can see I've got them in the wrong place. Oh, I might have messed this up, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I have messed those up. Hang on. What I need to do is move this one here, don't I? Move that one there. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Right, let's see what that looks like now. Let's hide the layout. So it maybe floats a little bit too much there, doesn't it? But it's got that, we can feel that squash and stretch. We perhaps need that other one going up there. Or do we need it? Would that, not putting that drawing in there, would that have helped? We've got a little bit of noise there from a drawing, which is actually quite nice. Quite like a little bit of boil. So yeah, we'll carry on. Just lengthen that a little bit. So we want that to start rising there again. So I'm going to copy that frame, paste it. I'm going to get my layout back on so I can see under the onion skin to see where I can make this work. So I'm not going to stretch it as much on the up. But again, I'm going to move it so we start to see it going up there. Hopefully we feel that on the down. I just have to look at it again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if that is hanging up there too long. There's other things we could do. We could space it out a little bit more. Do I play with it or? Do I move that down a little bit? So I've kind of made it a little bit asymmetric there. Yeah, I don't like how, I think if I bring those drones closer together there, if I reduce the exposure, I think that might help. Shall we try it and see? So what we would need to do is remove all those frames there where we're starting. So that one stays up for 2. So it'll make it smoother where it goes on there, but in some ways this might be the wrong thing to do, but let's see. I can always undo it. Do I want to keep that one on 2s? Maybe I do. Let's try it. Let's try it a little bit at a time. So just either side, those 2 drones, instead of holding them for 2, I've now held them just for 1. Let's see what that does. Makes it strobe a little bit. Let me try that there as well. So I'm just grabbing the frames there if I do it right. And just removing the frames, we'll do it there as well. Oops. See, I'm losing one of my layout drones there at the bottom. But let's see. Oh, I've moved it. And added something there. Edit, redo, remove frames. What have I done there? Look. Done something wrong there. Okay, so you can see I've just held those 2 drawings for 2, 1 in the middle. Let's see what that does. Oh, that feels better to me now. The timing of it just feels a little bit more natural and it's still hanging in the air. So you can edit your work like that. I think for this one I would want to do it 5 drawings, so would I class that as from there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want my extreme to be there. So I'm putting in a keyframe and I want it to be like that, a nice perfectly round ball. So I'll grab that one, paste it here to be at the center of this arc, and we'll hold it for 2 frames. So you can see I'm reducing my time, the amount of drawings it's taking to get up there. So that means it's taking less time to get up there and less drawings. But this is all in the subtlety of your animation. So I kind of only need 2. I might only need them on 1s. Yeah, so this drawing might go up to its keyframe, its frame there. Just hold for 1 because it's going up, and this one will be the one that's close to this. So let's get one that goes up. So we'll copy this one, paste it, so it sort of correlates with where this one goes, and I want it to be closer to that one. So you can see I've went 2 frames away, paste it in, get my onion skin back on so I know where I am. And because we've only got 2, we're only going to have 2 either side there. I'm just going to bring it sort of overlapping there. And then we'll put an in between there. Let's see what that one is. Yes, we'll just copy that one. Command C, or Control C if you're on a Windows. Paste it in here, and no, maybe I actually want that there. So it's coming up there, and then we have some in-betweens there. Let me think. Yeah. So let's first of all, let's put this in the right place. I need some blank keyframe work to do some damage limitation. Whoops, just done one there and also there. So this one's in the wrong place. So let's put it closer to that one. It's going to take a little bit of trial and error, this one. Maybe it goes like that. Let's see. And let's duplicate that one to go here. But move it. So it's symmetrical. Copy this one. And this is where it's coming down. This might be too much. Let's see what that plays back like. Well, actually, first of all, before we do that, well, I think we need to put the contacts in there. So now, I don't want it to be as squashy as that. Maybe it's more like that one there as it's coming down here. So let's see. So that's the contact. Let's put a keyframe in there. Grab that, squash it. little bit, and maybe would it squash that much from there? Not sure. Let's see, for the sake of timing, what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's okay. So I think you just kind of get a feeling for it, working in this sort of organised keyframing way. I think I'll stop the video here because I think you've got an idea of how you would progress. Your spacing is gradually getting closer together, so you're using less drawings. As the ball is losing energy, I've not squashed it as much. You know, the spacing becomes a little bit closer because things are moving slower. So that sort of hopefully illustrates descending energy. We've also got the sort of height change. If you look on the layout again, the spacing between each bounce gets less and less. So hopefully that's another way you can approach the bouncing ball. And if you've got any trouble, just ask me in class. Thank you for watching.